So rule number 4 is always know what is your target and what is beyond your target. So I'll use an example of an outdoor training range. So there's a lot of outdoor training ranges where there's like benches of people. All right, let me put the gun down. There's benches of people who, there's like these like ping pong tables and there's guns on top and everyone's like trying them out and shooting down range. And so because it's an open range, there could be people back there changing the cardboard, changing the steel, doing anything like that, setting up the test dummies or whatever they're doing. But there could also be people out there just who were firing and went to go see their hits. They want to go be like, okay, let me go out there and let me see how I hit this target, how far I was and where I hit the target and things like that. So like say, people are 100 yards away, they want to shoot a target and see how accurate they were. They want to go out into the range and be like, oh, okay, this is cool. If it's not like a range that's owned by one person, like a private range, you'll get those people. But if it's more of like an open range where there's instructors and people watching, they probably won't let you go out there. But if it's more of a private range and it's just you and your friends out there, this is where this rule comes in. So I have my gun and I'm shooting, bang, 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 bang. I'm hitting my targets. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. And I look away and I start loading up my magazine and my gun's cocked back and I'm ready to, put the mag back in and then start shooting again. And so while I'm doing that, a friend of mine goes out and goes to check their steel and see where they hit. And I'm like this, okay. And I'm gonna do my draw, and I don't know why, I'm just not looking, I'm just like not even thinking about it. I'm just thinking about my draw and how I'm gonna do quick. I'm like, okay, go, boom. And the first bullet I shot was my friend in the back because he was looking at the same target I was gonna shoot, but for some reason I just wasn't looking at it. Again, this is all for amateurs. This is not for experienced people. This is all rule 4 and all the rules I've done is all for people who are new to gun safety and new. So I just want to make sure they understand it. But let's just say that happened and I shot him in the back. Now I'm going to jail. Not only because I almost killed my friend, or I did kill my friend, but because it was my responsibility of every bullet that comes out of my gun. And so you should always know what is your target and what's beyond your target. So what I should have done was had my draw, looked up, looked at the target I want to shoot. And I see my friend out there. I'm like, okay, listen, ceasefire. You call a ceasefire when there's someone or something out in the field that could interfere with your training. Call a ceasefire, make sure everyone can't shoot, wait for my friend to get back. Again, look at the range. There's nothing and nobody out there. Call out, hello, anybody? Just take safety precautions. Hello, hello, hello. And then no response back, fire. And then, call fire. Everyone's able to shoot their guns again. You're good to go. But you always want to make sure what is your target and what is beyond your target. Another example, if you're out in public and you have to use self-defense because there's an attacker or anything like that, and you have FMJ in your gun instead of hollow point, which is the self-defense round, but you can use FMJ, but as I mentioned earlier in the FMJ video, FMJ does pierce through targets. So it can pierce through the person you're shooting and then hit somebody else behind them. And so I'll just use the FMJ as an example. So you have FMJ and you need to use self-defense because someone's attacking somebody else and you want to defend them to make sure that they don't kill them or anything like that. So you shoot, but you don't think about what is beyond the target that you're shooting, the attacker. So you shoot them, bang, it goes through the attacker, whether it's from the side, the front, back, whatever, but there was people behind them. And you go ahead and shoot and it goes through the attacker. I mean, they're on the ground, which is great, but the bullet didn't stop. So instead of stopping, it went through and hit somebody else who was just a regular citizen walking the street, or if they were in their house because it went through a window and it hit them, whatever, anything like that. There's a lot of scenarios that happen that actually happens like that, unfortunately. But that's another scenario. You don't want to hit somebody beyond your attacker or your target or whatever you're shooting. So you always have to make sure that you're in the right angle, that you're shooting just that person and not something else behind it. So if you need to get into a different area, like a different stance, where if I was like this and someone's behind them, but if I do on this angle and I shoot them, there's no one behind them there, nothing behind them. You got to make sure that you aim at him and then look behind, make sure you're good to go, then pull the trigger. there's a lot of scenarios that come around with carrying a weapon. There's a lot of safety protocols and just things that you should know as a weapons owner, that you need to know, and this is one of them. Again, the 4 rules of gun safety, these are all important for owning a weapon. I also highly recommend checking out a couple other channels that do like training and practice, and also cover some self-defense videos as well. And so these are just a couple of things I wanted to let most of you know, because this is very important. I think knowing about gun safety, and actually learning about it is important for everybody to know. It's your natural right. It's your Second Amendment. Out of the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments, your number 2 is owning a firearm and being legally able to. And so because of that, I highly recommend, people owning guns, but also knowing about them. If you want to own a gun, great, but you should know about them first before you own the gun. Whether it's for you, whether it's not for you, it's totally okay. Some people don't like guns because it's just for personal reasons. They just don't like them, and that's fine. You don't have to like guns. Not everybody needs to love guns like they're your favorite things in the world. It's like eating, bananas or apples, or you want to be healthy. People like to be healthy. It's not something you have to love, but it's something that everyone should know. I feel like you should know it, even if you do or don't own the gun, just in case you get into a scenario where you have to use one. You never know. Anything can happen in the world. And so I really hope all of these 4 gun rules and my explanations and my stories and my little spiels about them really helped you out. If they did, just leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear about it. Your experience, your thoughts, or anything like that. And if you have any questions, again, comment down below. I'd love to answer them. Or maybe I'll make a video out of it if it's a really good question I think a lot of people would ask. And again, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. So like always, stay healthy, stay sexy, and I'll see you guys in the next video or live stream. And again, take these with very serious precautions and care as well. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you guys soon.